happy to see. I think I'm dying here, man.
Through the haunted mansions and floors, the creek, they lead us to the places from which we dare not peek. A journey through fear and the realm of the night. In every word they speak, our hearts ignite with fright. Welcome to the horror show, the Deep Cut Podcast, where nightmares come alive, ready to take their blow. Tune in to the chilling delight on the airwaves of the night. Let the darkness grow. Let the darkness grow.
Aw, yeah. It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inkson. I've seen you do that 100 times, but I don't know.
105 times?
From this angle and in person, it's a bit of a different feel.
I'm channeling my inner kid and play with my aw, yeah.
I feel that. I feel very class act.
Yes, it's very 1989 to 1993 hip-hop. It translates a little different when it's audio to when it's video.
Oh yeah, because we're not doing a movie right at the moment. This
Nope.
is a testing phase.
Yep, little introductory.
This is something this has been your pet project for the previous, I feel like 6 months.
About 6 months, yeah.
I know about this. This is you. I just show up. I'm the talent. I just show up to things.
Here
provide me beverages, and I'm solid.
And here to ramble. But yeah, the past 6 months and some change, we've been building our new set, the cabin, and yeah, we're gonna start doing some video podcasts so that we have content for reels and TikToks and the shorts and all the things that the kids like.
Yeet.
Yes, we yeet these out into the internet-osphere. But yeah,
Netosphere. I like that one.
we're making that. It's much like sits
Sits.
when things
Which we are sitsing. These are chairs you acquired for just such occasion for our new cabin retreat.
How does it sit? Is
It's it's pretty good.
wide and comfy? I like my nickname in high school.
I'm still pretty much living that life.
But yeah, this isn't a standard deep cut podcast episode. We don't have a specific movie per se to cover, but it has been a long time since you and I have sat down together to rant, ramble, discuss the things and the like. We haven't been doing live streams on the 3B Video YouTube channel for a while because
I've had a horrible drug addiction, and it's been taking months for Raj to clean me up.
6 months, in fact.
Yep.
You know,
6 months, and I'm just missing my little blue coin
poker
thing.
chip or whatever the hell they give them.
Yeah, the Jay has and Clerks too. I'm just missing that, but I
Yeah.
have not drove around with a deployed airbag anywhere yet.
Yeah, that's a special breed of meth head. But you know,
I think it's just heroin he was on.
Oh yeah, maybe I feel like meth too, because meth fucks your teeth up pretty bad. And I think he's got the.
I mean, I think
clearly,
just not brushing does that too.
Yeah, that's true. And I suppose if you're too busy
You're on
being
heroin,
high, you're
yeah. I was like, not that it's 100% accurate depiction, but I'm assuming it's fairly accurate from The Sopranos. If you can sit on a dog and not notice it, you can probably forget to brush your teeth once in a while.
Yeah. Where's my arc? That's all I need to know. But we do have some things that, like I said, has been a while since we've got to sit down.
It's been a while.
And since I could see you,
That's copyrighted. That's going to get us in trouble.
I fear nothing. But this past 2 weeks or so, you and I have both celebrated some birthdays, some new milestones, another trip around ye old sun, or whatever you want to say.
Broke into new decades.
So we celebrated our birthdays.
Within a
you
week
know?
of each other, because that's how close we are. We decided to be born within the same week, just a year apart, and then we decided let's have a kid and have it on the exact same day.
Yes.
And then let's make them in like 15 years do the editing for the very show we're going to be recording right now.
Yes, children sweatshop, if you will. Now all we got to do is
That's
get
a
like
family business, though. They've been doing this for a millennia of this. You have kids, you ain't got to pay them. You just
Yep.
make them work.
Yeah,
for
now we
nothing.
need a T-shirt press.
Yeah.
One can
Ooh.
run the show, one can make the merch. But we both kind of celebrated our birthdays. We didn't celebrate them together because we both had different things going on. But you sent me some stuff. I sent you some stuff. We both celebrated our birthdays a little differently. You had a stack of cinnamon to get through.
I did. Tear jerkers. I decided to just break out my 41st year on Earth with tear jerkers. So
yeah,
I did
all heavy hitters.
some heavy duty cinema, yeah. But I've never seen it, so I did Philadelphia and Schindler's List. Two movies that's like, how did you get by without seeing them this long?
Also, was that on the same day? Because that's like the.
No.
I was gonna say that's like the craziest double feature ever.
Yeah, that's
Start dreaming and like
that's
combining
pain.
the two of them.
That was when you get to 41, you start hurting a bit more. So I wanted to hurt even more.
Yeah.
But no, those were two separate days. Schindler's List, it's its own day in its entirety.
Yeah.
I didn't need anything else after it. I think I watched something goofy after that. 'cause
You
it's
kind of
like-
have to. You got to cleanse the palate.
But I did make it. Philadelphia is like 2 hours and 4 minutes. I made it 1 hour 56 minutes before it broke me.
Yeah, because the end is
did-
the gut punch, really. Like the
Not necessarily the end, but it's like when he's in the hospital bed and everyone is like saying we're gonna see you tomorrow, and like the brother just does the same, just breaks down and cries on top of him. That's when I was like, oh shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah. It's like I said, heavy hitters, but powerhouse. They are powerhouse. Movies.
Powerhouse required cinema. I feel of like stuff that everyone should see.
Yeah.
Which I just started making a list of things that's like I've never seen these. I probably should. Like Field of Dreams, did that one.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier to you Pelican Brief. I'm gonna try to get that one at some point. Watch it.
It's a documentary about pelicans.
Yep.
So yeah, and they're briefing us on them.
Or it's a really short thing about pelicans.
A short film. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, we could make that. We can make it the Pelican
It's
Briefs.
getting legal up in here.
Or we put underwear on birds.
That's the next thing.
Yeah, we just
And we
take it
get super
literally.
famous, or someone steals it from us and they get super famous.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Someone will be doing their own Cabin in the Woods show soon.
So I didn't do anything overly heavy birthday-wise, but I had visited you. Has that been a month? Roughly since I went and visited you. I spent the weekend with you, or the day with you.
What the hell did we do?
I don't know. I just think I came up because I needed to get away.
Yeah. And I was trying to just hang out for a week, man.
Yep.
I'll go to work, but I mean, I'll be
I'll
back
be
home.
here. So you would let me borrow a movie that
Yes. Now it's starting to come back to me.
I've been wanting to see for a very long time, and you obviously pulled the trigger and got it before me. And so
I had no idea. Like you knew before I did. I was just like, it had just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Much like your visit entirely almost did for a minute there, but it's slowly
You're
unraveling.
saying I could just hang on to that movie and just pretend it's mine. I got to
No,
order
because I
one.
literally saw it when we came in. I was like, oh, there it is right there. I'll try to remember to grab that before I go.
I got to give props where props are due, and I got to say, honestly, no cap, as the children say. I feel like a disgusting person for saying that. Like
Again,
I need
what
to shout.
is no cap mean?
That just means it means like no bullshit. I think. So just say don't bullshit me. But
no cap.
Onyx the Fortuitous has been like a staple in the internet world as long as I can remember, like the Weird Arby's guy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
my
then,
wife thought that was legitimate the first
I
time she saw it.
I think we all did. Like,
yeah.
I legitimately
then once we
believed
saw
it.
him show up in a second video, we're like, okay.
Wait a second. Yeah, he's very good. What's his real name? Not Marcus Trilbury. That's his.
Yeah, I
anyways.
just know him as Bowser Video.
Yeah.
So I don't know his real. I
So
can't think
it's
what his real
Andrew
name is.
Bowser or something
Andrew
like that.
Bowser, yeah, Bauer.
But he is a very funny guy, and it's like a very niche. Like, is that the word I'm trying to say? Like his the people who like his stuff is a very small group. Not small. That sounds bad. Not small. Like a very.
Because we're small.
Yeah, a very select group of people really enjoy his comedy, and we definitely fall into that. And he's done one of the things that I think is probably
It's not mainstream. He's in the know.
yeah, like if you know, you know, and if you don't know, I feel sorry for you, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
he is doing what I find as like the most commendable thing any content creator, air quotes, can do is they take that money that they've earned off of all those platforms, whether it be their podcasts, their stupid YouTube videos, or whatever. They pool it together and then they make some kind of a crazy passion project. And he made, arguably in my opinion, one of the best horror comedies that I've ever seen in my life. Like it's going to be in my wheelhouse. I've probably watched it 4 times since you loaned it to me.
I only watched it the one time before you got a hold of it.
Hilarious.
But I watched a lot of the bonus material.
I still haven't watched the bonus stuff. I just watched the movie, so I really gotta.
Which got me into watching his YouTube shorts that I started showing you his
the Shadow Zone.
Yeah, the Shadow Zone, like 10 or 12 episodes of the Shadow Zone on YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah, those are good.
Tonally, again, not for everybody, but talking about something that breaks you, because that came out of nowhere. That was the most unexpected, like 1-2 heart punch ever. Because that movie was so funny and it was so like well crafted and perfectly tailored for our sense of humor. But then there's a few spots in the movie where I was like choking back tears, and I'm like, hey, you aren't supposed to do that. Like this is supposed to be. I
remember I messaged you. I'm like, dude, we get the origin story of his I don't know tick.
Yeah.
And it's gonna fucking wreck you.
So that one, and right towards the beginning, which is when I knew I was in for a world of hurt, is he has like a rough day at work when he quits work, and he's laying in his bed and he's like praying to like either A, God, or B, the devil, like whoever's listening, he doesn't care because he wants a better life. That's acting, dude. Like, I mean, you know, you can go like crazy over the top Bruce Campbell style, which he does a lot in this movie. He has his things. But he's dialed in right there, and that's like...
He's like Ernest.
Yeah.
Ernest can be super, super goofy, but he has like those moments where like he goes to camp where he starts singing how he's glad that it's raining.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, yeah. Like you're having a fun time, and then all of a sudden you realize I'm on a different road right here.
Is that Temptations? I just wish I want to go outside, so I just wish it would rain. Do they play that song in Ernest Goes to Camp?
No, he sings.
He sings it. Okay, it's been a minute
because he's heartbroken about the kids that really are just giving him a hard time, and he's like, man, I'm glad it's raining. That way, no one can see your tears.
Yeah.
If you're walking out in the rain.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But
all kinds of good stuff today.
So I did Onyx. And then
Onyx the Fortuitous and Talisman of Souls.
Yes, that's the full title, which also beautiful cover art too.
Even though it's not a Halloween movie, doesn't it feel like one?
It does, and it also feels like a perfect double feature with like Return of the Living Dead 2, which I think I told you. Like they kind of have that when all the ghouls, they have that weird like emaciated.
Yeah.
Like they're creepy looking, but they're also just goofy enough where you could be like, ha.
Another good one, and also timely because he just passed, but I think the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie would be an interesting double feature with that.
Yeah,
we just
rest
lost
in
Donald
peace.
Sullivan this past week.
Yeah.
Which I asked the wife, I was like, what's your favorite, what's his best picture in your mind? Because mine, I sent you what mine was. I love him as Oddball from Kelly's Heroes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if she landed on one.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which immediately when I told my wife that he passed away, she was like, we have to watch that. But then, she got home super late last night, so...
We'll honor Donald tomorrow.
Yeah. Once we have a full 8 hours of rest, he gets to rest forever.
Which is funny that you want to sleep before you watch the movie, where if you fall asleep, you're going to not wake up you anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I am aware of the irony.
You went with it anyway.
Yes. But
and you rewatched, because I got you, because we reviewed Deadstream recently on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you had not owned a copy of it, and I found one,
which I can't believe,
outrageously priced. And I was like, well, I'm going to just order this right now, even though it's going to come to you wicked early before your birthday.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure you got the steelbook of Deadstream.
Yeah, that's. I'm telling you, every time I watch it, it gets closer and closer to a perfect movie, which is so crazy because
I didn't like it.
I hated it. I really hated it. Like not disliked it. I was like, fuck this movie.
You hated it because you fell victim to what he was actually trying to go for. He was convincing you he was one of those obnoxious YouTubers.
He tricked me, hook, line, and sinker. But then for my birthday, I also got a copy of American Movie, so I rewatched that over my birthday weekend. And sidebar, if VHS Mikey is listening, because I put...
Or watching.
Yeah, or watching. Watching us right here, sitting at the cabin. But
It's getting hot over here next to this fire.
you're pretty close. I had to move you pretty close.
I'm going to sweat.
But he recently watched the movie, and then I sent him a Snapchat that I was watching it, and he was like, I'm still on the fence if this is satire. He's like, I think this is a parody. And then I said, this is not. I said, American Movie is legitimately a documentary about him trying to make Coven, you know? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I think it's fake. I'm like, but it's not, though. Like, it's...
You should direct them to that Jason X DVD where those two guys are on, like, the many faces of Jason Voorhees bonus feature where Joe Bob's on there, too. They're exactly the same way in that behind-the-scenes thing. The one dude wearing the raccoon hat, like, these guys are not acting. This is who they are.
No, and sidebar to that, which is kind of a bummer.
Because how the fuck would they get... How do you get on that?
I don't know. Holler at your boys.
In 2002, how do you get on that?
Because they made Coven. But Mike, the long-haired one who does all the guitar for him, he recently passed away.
Really?
So that's a bummer because
I did not know that.
He's my genuine, like, looking at him makes me smile. When I listen to him talk, he kind of, so you have never seen Sasquatch Gang.
No.
Which I've got to, this weekend you're watching it because it's by far one of the funniest movies of all time. But there's a character in Sasquatch Gang named Shirts, who's played by the guy from...
Does he never wear one?
Never wears a shirt. The guy from Cabin Fever, you two fucking fuckers insist on touching her. Like
the guy from Super Troopers.
Yeah, but he's just Shirts to me.
It's about to pull out my 9 and put a cap in that pig's ass.
But Shirts talks like this, like the whole movie. It's his thing. And so... Mike from American Movie, who really talks like that, all I can hear is Shirts, and I'm like, Shirts clearly, like, whoever made Sasquatch Gang, they knew about American Movie, and they were like, be like this guy. They had to have been, because it's like he's doing an impersonation.
Who put that movie out on disc? Because when I got a copy of it, it still hadn't been put on any format yet, so I actually have a burnt copy,
it's like,
which ironically feels more legitimate.
Right, yeah.
With like a torn half label on it.
I want to say, like, is Sony, did they have, like, are they owned by, like, Savoy? Remember Savoy Pictures? It's literally in the video store, which is on the other side of the cabin.
The Bay one.
Yeah, I'll look at it when we're done, but...
Not Anchor Bay, but... Or maybe it is. Is Anchor Bay, though, the
Anchor
opening
Bay,
where it's like...
Sailboat?
Yes!
Yeah, that's Anchor Bay.
Oh, shit. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay, that's back when movies got really cool releases, you know.
Yeah.
Not
when
so
Best
much
Buy
anymore.
was getting good movies in. Now you can get lawn equipment there.
Yeah, it's trash. Or a new whatever fridge with a TV on it.
Yeah. Because when you want to make a drink, you don't want to miss. What the hell does it even have on? Is it? I'm guessing you can hook up your Netflix or probably some shit to it. Your Wi-Fi connection.
Watch your Amazon Prime. Watch your Paula Deen cooking.
I don't think she's on anymore.
I don't think so either. That's yeet. She got yeeted.
Gosh, well, that's at least probably 8-10 years old now.
Yeah, that's an old one. That's an oldie for you.
Just like she is.
She's probably dead. But
no, if she's dead, I definitely would have heard about that by now.
I rewatched The Equalizer.
I've never seen those. I've seen a few clips on YouTube, and I'm like, I probably would enjoy these.
I'll let you borrow.
I've never jumped the gun on the three of them.
So I only own the first one. I've seen the second one because it was on Peacock or something a while back. It's not there anymore. But the third one just came out probably like 2 months ago on disc, and I still haven't picked it up.
A bit more than that, I think.
But that's a fun movie. I mean, as much as you and I both we've seen this formula a million times, the everyman who isn't really an everyman.
Yeah.
That, progresses into...
The guy that is a real, like, ass kicking,
a sleeper badass. Yeah, nobody.
but never
Sisu.
Yeah, but never looks like it or really is portraying it. That's the ultimate badass move, when you really are that and you don't ever pretend to be that.
Yeah, and
You know, like giant monster truck cars that have testicles hanging off the back of it.
gross.
Rebel flags and "Don't Tread on Me" tattoos. With
We really are in the woods in Tennessee. Yeah, no, but Equalizer, even though it is that formula, it's good. You know, and it's
I mean,
kind of it's Denzel, baby.
Yeah, it's like Denzel can sell you about anything.
Yeah, and like
He can sell you a pelican wearing briefs.
Soul.
He can sell you being on a train that can't stop.
All right, okay.
Or a plane that he's going to fly drunk. I never saw his flight movie.
What is that called? I know what you're talking about.
Not Flight Plan. Is it Flight Plan?
That's Jodie Foster, I think.
That's, yeah, because I'm thinking Panic Room. But no, she does have one where she has a kid on a plane.
Probably a David Fincher movie.
And wakes up and, like, the kid's not there. And they're like, they gaslight her. You never had a kid.
Wait a minute.
You boarded this plane solo.
What's this C-section?
I want to say it's Flight Plan. I want to say Flight Plan.
Who knows?
Maybe it's Plane. I don't know. We talked about
a movie just being called Plane.
Plane, yeah. And I was like, they added
Solo Plane, not Soul Plane. Yeah.
Not Soul Plane, no. Or Airplane, which is a fantastic movie. One-word title.
Airplane 2. Yeah.
The sequel.
I'm trying.
By the way, my daughter hates Airplane.
Which daughter?
The one that is literally
recording,
helping with the editing and recording of this right now.
Well,
all because she's not a fan of everyone getting sick off the fish or what is the other dish that they serve on there?
It's been a minute.
Something
I own both of
fish.
them, but it's
because Liz was like, yes, I remember I had the lasagna.
Megan usually is the one who's like, let's watch Airplane. You know, she's usually the one.
Airplane's never a bad decision.
It's not bad.
Either one.
But like, for me, when I'm in that mood, I lean more towards Mel Brooks. You know, like when I get in that mood, I'm like, Men in Tights.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Yeah, and Spaceballs, for whatever reason, I don't own.
Really?
Don't own it. Thought I did. Don't own it.
How about History of the World?
No.
Introduced the wife to that one this past calendar
Life
year.
Stinks. Because
I don't think I've seen that one.
You got a piece of corn on your face. You don't.
Or a silent movie.
I don't know silent movie.
I'm not a huge fan of Blazing Saddles.
I just had one of our Muay Thai instructors was like, we were doing our warm up and he quoted Blazing Saddles and nobody said anything and I kind of chuckled and he's like, seen Blazing Saddles? I'm like, yes, I've seen Blazing Saddles, and it seems like the kind of movie you would like, to be honest. You know, like
I don't know why. I just never. I'm finicky on westerns. Some of them hit for me. And I'm
Wagons
into it.
East.
The
Candy.
Yeah, John Candy.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fine. I always want to
City
mix that one
Slickers.
up with Almost Heroes.
Yeah, that's better though. Almost Heroes is definitely better than Wagons East, but Wagons East is good. Lightning Jack.
Lightning Jack is good.
Maverick. Mel
Not so
Gibson?
much Maverick.
You've seen it though, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. Young Guns, 1 and 2.
I'll make you famous.
They're pretty good.
Young Guns 3 is happening. How
the f is that happening?
I saw a thing the other day.
I don't think that's real.
It's real. It's real. Somebody.
It's real.
Somebody let me know.
Yeah, break his heart that the Young Guns 3 is not.
It was on like Emilio Estevez's Twitter or something, like that they're doing, or X. The kids call it X now. It's not Twitter, but they're doing a new Billy the Kid movie, and it's like
like a spin-off.
Like he faked his death, because that's the whole deal, right? At the end of 2, they're like, did Leif Garrett's character kill him, or did he like help him fake his death so he could go on the run? And it's like, whatever his real name was, it's called like the Ballad of such and such. Whatever Billy the Kid's real name, not his alias.
It's been several hot minutes since I've watched the Young Guns movies. You know, I think I don't have the. Gosh, I don't know if I got both those on disc or not.
I own part.
I used to have an app that would tell me that, but then they started charging me money to want to use it,
And we
After
said
I've had
no.
it for so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll just wing it.
Both after we upgraded our phones, though.
Yeah,
Which was
because we were grandfathered in. 'Cause
Yep.
we got it when we just had to pay a flat fee for it. Then they're like, you're going to make it a monthly fee.
Yeah, because it was $20.
Yeah.
CLZ Movies, we don't want you to sponsor us. We're not looking at you anymore.
No, because, man, we bought those back when we were making hockey masks.
Yep.
That was our first venture into the business realm. We
Yep.
bought those apps.
So,
Now I miss it now that I don't have it.
yeah, because it was
So
handy.
now I don't know what the hell I own.
Yeah, it was handy. I couldn't tell you how many times now Megan and I have been out on a movie hunt or whatever, and she'll be like, do we own such and such? And I'm like,
Shit, I don't know. Wish I had an app that told me that.
I would say, I think so. And she'd be like, I don't think so. So she would buy it. That's mostly movies that are in her wheelhouse. So, like, there have been a couple of times we've purchased.
Kindergarten Cop, isn't it? You own like
Well, I know we own like
copies
3 or
of it.
4 copies of Kindergarten Cop, but that's because she keeps forgetting that I don't need it anymore. So she buys me one constantly. But
It'd be funny if she just started buying Kindergarten Cop 2 now.
weirdly, no. I don't need Kindergarten Cop 2 or Cop and a Half Part 2. I'm good with.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they made Cop and a Half, too.
It's got like Tretch from Naughty by Nature in it or something.
Not
but
Burt Reynolds anymore.
no. Well, Dirt Reynolds, because he's dead.
Dirt.
He can't be a cop no more.
Maybe he's the half a cop.
The emaciated.
yeah, the other
Why
half
is
is-
he alive? He's not.
He's the bio cop and a half.
Bio Cop and a Half reference, deep cut. I was gonna say, oh, the movie that is weird that we keep buying, which Lars and the Real Girl, it's a Ryan Gosling movie.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
It's okay, but it's like
But-
it's an art house comedy. You know, it's like a Juno type of thing or something, like one of those
Is that Eva Longoria in that? Eva
in Lars
Longoria?
and the Real Girl.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I thought
All
that
I can
was-
picture is Ryan Gosling. He's like a fucking weird introvert, and he's all sad because his like wife died. So to get over like being sad, he buys a fucking real doll, you know, like a $10,000 sex doll, and like basically like gaslights the whole town. Like, I'm so sad, everybody in the town, you have to start talking to her like she's real. So he
You know,
fucking
that's
takes
a horror movie. If you just
Yeah.
slightly modify
Well,
a few tones
that's
to that.
that's Love Object with Desmond Harrington from Wrong Turn and Udo Kier. You ever seen Love
Jeez.
Object?
No.
That's
But
that's it.
that sounds like a movie Udo Kier would sign up for.
Yeah, Udo Kier plays like Desmond Harrington's boss. Desmond Harrington works in like an office space type situation, and he's so sad and lonely he buys a sex doll, and like, but then he starts having feelings for like a real person that he works with. So then he has to
He has to break up with.
yeah,
the
he has to
dummy
break up with the sex doll, but then
and start stalking him.
yeah, like he's
I've never seen
gives-
this movie, but I'm already writing.
oh yeah,
it
he
for
gives
you.
it a voice in his own head, so he's not alone.
Is it just his voice but higher?
Pretty much, you know. So he's
Horrible.
got to figure out how to like either A, kill and get rid of the sex doll,
Jesus.
or B, kill and get rid of the real girl, the real girl, so he can be with one or the other.
Does
And
he end up killing the real girl by accident? Does he think he's killing the doll and he kills the real girl?
I'll just
Does
have
he
to let
wake
you.
up,
I'll just have to let you borrow it. But
or
you
does
know,
he wake up and the doll is killing the real girl? Or
it's like Maniac.
it's like
or-
Mannequin. Is he just
or-
dropping it down one of these like fucking wood chipper things?
Sidebar: I love Mannequin.
I love Mannequin, but what is that ever been a real thing? Do department stores have like wood chippers to drop mannequins into when they were done using them? Why don't you just send them back, or throw them out, or shit? I'm sure
Sell
people
them.
would take them. Yeah, I would take them.
Yeah.
Dress them up for Halloween props.
Yep. That's what we do. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll just
Did
have to let
anybody
you borrow.
run a department store in the mid '80s? Did you take mannequins you were no longer using for whatever reason and drop them in a wood chipper design just for
Mannequin
yeah?
evisceration. I don't know, but
Man, that movie would have ended way differently if she was legit real. Still fell into that wood chipper, and that one dude working there was just covered in the gore of Kim Cattrall.
that's a Forensic Files episode right there, man. They identify it by finding a fingernail.
A fingernail, a work shirt, and a cardboard box.
It's that no, I'm talking. That's a real episode. They find a lady's fingernail, and then oddly enough, she had mail. Like, her and her husband get into a fight, and she's checking, like, or reading her mail, and she puts it in her nightgown. They get in a fight. He fucking kills her. Then he puts her through a wood chipper and spits her out into what he thinks is the river that goes under this bridge. But a bunch of her pieces hit the bank, and they find a fingernail that's got her shade of fingernail polish, some hair.
Ivy Green number 3. Only 3 people in the country know this.
And then they find that envelope that she stuck in her nightgown, virtually untouched. It went through the entire wood chipper, and it had still her name, her address, and everything. And then they got it.
If I went through all that and they still had caught me, I'd be like, you know what? I guess it's meant to be for me to be caught.
Yeah.
Like, if I put you through a wood chipper by the fucking river and you still can figure out I did it. I mean, minus, if I had to rent the wood chipper and
I think
back it up to the edge of a river.
He did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take some of that credit back.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about the logistics of doing that.
We just take the wood
It's
chipper.
a lot of work.
Wood chip your partner into like a fire pit, burn them up, and then scoop up all the remains from the fire pit into a trash bag.
I would be fucking pissed if I had to go through the process of spending money to rent a wood chipper, attach that shit to my car, because that's like at least 9 attempts at a 3-point turn to back that thing up just the right way when it's attached to the hitch of the car.
T-Dog, just do a 3-point turn.
Yeah, and then put the body in there, which can't be easy either unless you're cutting that shit up into small bits ahead of time, and then putting bits into the wood chipper. Like, that is clearly a weekend gig, and I would be exhausted afterwards. And they're like, you telling me a fingernail in an envelope?
I'm just hanging myself in my jail cell like Rod Lane.
Oh, you're going to Epstein yourself.
Yeah. If you believe that. But, no, I'm just kidding. I don't want to
Trust me, he's sleeping like a baby. He's not
right.
going anywhere.
Where the hell did I put the keys? Nightmare on Elm Street reference. Deep cut. But I'm trying to think anything otherwise that I've watched over the past 2-3 weeks since you and I have been in the same room. Mainly a lot of Law and Order, a lot of true crime stuff. So nothing cinema-wise of note. But
You've been busy building the cabin in the woods here that we're, only going to film at night, apparently, and because it's blue outside, which that means it's nighttime.
That's right. It's blue on this side. It's
You should
pink
definitely,
on that
if you're
side.
just listening to this, you really should check out the YouTube, the Instagram, the TikToker, and
every other place.
I was like, anything else we're on? I don't know anything else we're on.
I don't know. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
We kind of still dabble in Facebook. Like, we'll post things that have already been
Hither
done,
and
but
thither. Patreon.
Patreon, yeah, we got Patreon. That's where we're going to start.
We'll build the rest of this cabin if you...
Make it bigger, because, again, just like the video store, back when we were doing stuff in the video store, we came down to it, and like, man, I don't know how you managed to keep doing this, but the video store looks huge on camera. And just like this cabin looked huge on my phone. You'd send me, pictures on my phone. I'd be like, this place looks, I'm picturing this entire area is this whole cabin setup. And we get down here, and the youngest is like, this is small.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's good at doing that.
Yeah,
He makes the most out of small spaces.
I got to, because I don't have that big of a workspace. Once we have like our own, our own facility, like a building, and we could build, tall sets and whatnot, you better believe the amount of things that we can accomplish with the small space, what we're going to do with big space, for sure. But, yeah, this is a new little video component, and when we're doing the podcast, everything will still be perfectly enjoyable via audio podcasts. But if you're doing the video podcast, you'll be able, I'll probably insert some random either A, screenshots, or B, clips from the movie, kind of faded in and out, so I'm not getting copyright strikes. But we're gonna.
There's ways you'll visually spice it up for if you want to watch us talk as opposed to just listening to us talk.
Yes, yeah, which is a weird thing. A lot of people like video podcasts, and it's taken us. We've been
Which
doing
I didn't
podcasts.
know. I was just using my podcasting app. I was listening to that shit while I'm at work.
But we have paid good, cold hard cash to go see podcasts recorded live. We saw
Yeah.
last podcast on the left live.
I've seen them twice, but you were there technically the first time.
But we didn't. Yeah, didn't.
Yeah, we didn't see their show, but the first time we saw them, they were still selling their own merchandise.
Yeah.
And then the second time we saw them, it was a bit of a different setup because they were behind a paywall if you wanted to meet and greet them after the show, and they had their own crew of folks selling their merch, and very not a lot of merch. Not that they had a lot to begin with. Their initial merch was like a shirt,
right?
That was it. But when we went for their official show, they had the shirt and a patch and
some stickers. I think
those stickers, but they're all they're fairly high.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
$20 patches is ooh.
It comes with the territory, you
Sure.
know. But got to pay for travel, I suppose. But that's kind of our deal. Is we're always late. We're late to everything. We were late to TikTok. Like right now, the planet's trying to get rid of TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Which made me laugh because literally, I think the week you had messaged me all right, I set up a TikTok for us, and I was like, dude, they're trying to get it banned in the country this week.
Happens. It's just literally how my brain works. And then the same thing with building the set. Like we've been doing a podcast now for 3.5 years. By the time this comes out, 3.5, 4 years.
That's crazy. But it still feels like this is the new avenue.
Yeah. To me, it is.
Because we were we were doing YouTube stuff, and then we're gonna start dabbling in this. And this was initially it was a Patreon only thing, and then it started taking off on its own.
Yep. And to be honest, it's not really anything different from what we do on YouTube, but we're in complete control. We're in charge. And I like this, man. I like to be kind of untethered, have our every bell and whistle we want. We do all the things we want to talk about. We do. And no real sidetracks, no interruptions, nothing like that. So it's nice to dip into video podcasts, even though the live streams essentially were a video podcast, but this is just a little bit different.
A little different because we're not live. We're going to be able to edit, but I felt that was good training grounds, though.
Oh, yeah. We're very good
we flew pretty good without a net.
Well, and I also think
filling that dead air space.
Yeah, and with us being over an internet connection, with us being away from one another, there is this slight possibility we end up talking over one another or whatever, where here it's literally like tennis. I'm done with my sentence. You know?
Now I will start my sentence.
Yes. See how simple that is? But I'm just glad that we get to do this, take you guys on the ride with us. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully visually it's intriguing, and it just gives me an excuse to hang out in the same room with my best friend, and that's all I could ask for, really, to be honest with you. And
I don't know why you want to do that much, but
maybe
I'll take it.
Make a couple dollars in the process.
Oh, that's always the ideal thing, is that we can make some money just not doing anything. We can make the most money by not doing as much more than what we would do without anything, camera rolling anywhere kind of deal.
Yep. I mean, we're going to have these conversations anyway, so might as well.
Everybody else does it, yeah. Why not spruce it up and do it in a cabin in the woods?
Truth. But, I don't know. Anything else you want to touch on with this inaugural video podcast before we
ride off into the sunset or go to our separate cabin bedrooms in this humble new abode?
Yes.
I don't know. We got some cool stuff around here. Do you want to tell them? We have this horror movie survival book over here. What's the story with this thing?
So with the new format, if you're familiar with the podcast, obviously you are. You're listening to it and or watching it. We have a pretty strict formula that we adhere to get that podcast nice and snappy to you and not keep you sitting around, twiddling your thumbs waiting for us to get to what we're trying to get to. But
I can't imagine there's many people just get to the 1 stars.
Yeah,
just get to the
to them bad boys.
Yeah,
but our
to your prop game. Come on.
So yeah, our normal podcast is we spend about 45 minutes talking about the movie, then we move on to Amazon 1-star reviews, and then we wrap it all up. Oh, we have a Brown Panty Award too.
We're
really
keep
bad
to bring
about
that
forgetting
back in,
that.
Well, sometimes there's just nobody in the movie that we just feel bad that we lose.
Yeah, sometimes they all deserve
So
it.
when we don't do it, it's by design. There's no one we give a shit about that actually died in the movie. We're like, good, yeah, let them get rid of them.
Yeah, peace.
Thank God, finally.
And then we always wrap up the podcast with a little prop game where
That's going to be fucking weird doing in a video format.
Yeah, it's going to be a little
For
strange.
me.
Why? Do you have Why would that be weird?
Because you're going to see what my face looks like when I'm trying to channel Lemmy
Oh,
singing.
Gotcha.
It's like I have never, ever
Done that in front of someone?
thought, what that might look like in a visual component.
Ooh.
I know the wife finds it hysterical, and she had no idea it was coming when we started doing it. She finds it funny, but I have no idea how anyone else is going to take it. And I never thought it would be a concept I'd have to worry about.
Well, now you do.
Way to bring in new fears.
Yes,
The
yeah.
new face of fear is a rotten Roger DeMarco.
I'm sorry. But,
Yeah.
so our normal format's pretty snappy. We end, like I said, with the prop game. But now that we're going to have these visual components, and do things, we're going to do things just a little bit differently. So I thought, let's introduce some new segments. Some may interchange because we've done a segment on our live streams that Evil and I are both fond of. And since we're not doing the live streams anymore, we may usher that in at some point. But the book you're referring to, the Horror Movie Survival Guide, written by the one and only Walter Paisley, who we have a tribute photo on the wall of. What we're going to do is every movie that we cover, we're going to give you one survival tip from the book on how to survive said film. Just a nice little silly thing that we feel like we can do, and
Everyone could use a helpful tip once in a while.
yeah, just the tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels. And I mean,
Always want more when you do.
sometimes we can't give more, but that's all there is to it.
But you want to.
You do. You got to arch your back.
Oh, it hurts.
So, I mean, our whole bread and butter, our namesake, the Deep Cut podcast, is kind of a play on words from some of the dialogue from Scream. And Scream is pretty notorious for its rules segment in the movie, at least the rules scene. And then they've carried it on 6 movies now, probably 7 by the time this podcast comes out.
I mean,
but
yeah, who knows?
yeah, they're probably just going to shit out another TV series. But
Never watched it.
it's, I mean,
wavy.
I'd say watch it.
Couple of wavy lines.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of this.
There's the real origins of Deep Cut. We just like to just talk in quotes.
And riff, yeah. But yeah, we figured throw out a couple of, one survival tip per movie. They'll be silly. They won't necessarily be.
I think they'll be dead serious.
They could be dead serious, but I mean,
Words to live by.
yeah. And we got a couple other segments we're going to toss in there too. So you'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. You got anything else, or should we?
Yeah, give it thumbs up if it's on the channels. Let us know. I mean, we do that whole spiel that everyone else does. You click bells, ring icons, or flip that. I don't know.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, jump on the Patreon if you're antsy. Jump on the Patreon for 3B video, because that's where stuff will drop a week ahead of time for you, so you can listen or watch things earlier than everyone else does.
For as little as $1 a day, you two can feed an evil. So
And I'm eating all right now, but I could always use more.
we're adding 2 things. We're sprucing things up. You know how, if you've been watching us for any period of time, you know that,
Everything we do changes at some point.
yep, and sometimes we go way outside of the box and make movies, shorts, whatever.
Remember when you were doing 5 videos a week on YouTube?
It aged me very quickly.
I could feel it, because you were just going.
I was like, we're going to break through, man. And then this little channel called Dead Meat beat me to everything. So,
And then other people like James Rolfe beat you. I remember that was literally a week I came here, and you're like, what if we made a video store and we started just doing like reviews of movies and talk movies in a video store? I'm like, oh, you mean like the thing that James Rolfe on Cinemassacre just started doing the week you decided to do that? Also, he decided to do a review for what was it, Monster Brawl.
Yeah.
the exact same week that I had banked doing a video for Monster Ball, like probably a month ahead of time.
Yep.
But it came out a week after he had just did his.
That's how that works, man.
Yeah, it's a day late and a dollar short.
That's how we are. We always are. Just right behind the trend. So
Some folks just swing by and like, hey, that's a pretty cool
art style
gimmick you got there.
Yeah.
Can I take an idea from that?
Pretty cool lighting you got there. Be a shame if someone took it. But
I want to film things at night too.
well, nighttime's blue. Figure it out.
Figure it out.
But on that note, I suppose we should probably get going because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
I mean, I don't have a movie we're talking about, so I don't have a good, out quote, so yeet.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Yeah. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pie. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. 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 To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. 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 To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast.